Tonight, a truck crashes into the grounds of a local school.
Plans to build a car testing facility in Toowoomba.
Construction underway at the new Bailey Henderson Hospital.
And the pressure's on at an international chess competition.
This is 7 News with Brough and Joanne Desmond.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good evening.
A truck driver was taken to hospital after his semi crashed into St Joseph's College in East Toowoomba early this morning. Luckily, the crash happened before school started, but it took crews more than 3 hours to remove the truck.
Teachers arriving for work were shocked to find the unexpected delivery. The semi laden with fresh produce was wedged between a school building and a fence on James Street.
This morning our crews responded to a road traffic crash here at on James Street where a semi's gone into the St Joseph's School.
Emergency services blocked off 2 lanes outside the school as paramedics assessed the driver. Amid unconfirmed reports, he thought he'd been stung by a wasp.
Very fortunate that the driver did get out of the vehicle. As you can see, the truck did not roll right over and was up against the building.
He was taken to St Vincent's private hospital in a stable condition. Debris was scattered for more than 50 metres.
There is damage to the building, but they'll better assess once the truck has been removed.
But it could have been far worse.
I don't like using the word luck, but it's fortunate that nobody else was involved in the prang. It is a busy time of the morning.
It took heavy haulage crews more than 3 hours to recover the semi from the embankment. The street reopened just before 10 a.m. Ben Meehan, 7 News.
A startup company plans to take on the automotive world right here in Toowoomba. Gondwana is in the works to build a technology hub for industries to test and develop their cars.
Big things are on the way for Toowoomba. New startup company Gondwana wants to bring the international transport market here.
The epicentre of mobility research.
The plans outline a crash and speed testing simulator, technology hubs and an emergency training academy, choosing land next to Wellcamp Airport as their base. CEO Curly Frater says the landscape is perfect for a simulated testing facility.
Require a 24-hour heavy freight airport delivering their prototype vehicles.
The addition of the international and domestic travel market was a bonus. It's expected there will be more than 1,500 jobs on offer.
500 of those jobs are international scientists, engineers and designers.
Toowoomba Mayor Jeff McDonald has thrown his support behind the project. However, the development application is still months from being submitted.
At this stage, of course, Gondwana is a proposal and they'll need to go through that phase of applications, development approvals.
If all goes to plan, the facility could be open by the end of 2026. Olivia Babb, 7 News.
Health Minister Shannon Fetterman spent the morning visiting Darling Downs health facilities and opening the new day surgery at Bailey Henderson Hospital. The Minister also turned the sod to mark construction of the new $1.3 billion Toowoomba Hospital.
Patients in Toowoomba are now able to have elective surgery sooner with the official opening of the Bunya Day surgery.
1, 2, 3.
The $42 million investment by the state government will mean an additional 4,000 surgeries each year, taking pressure off an already struggling health system.
I am so pleased that this government is investing in the infrastructure we need. We know there is a lot of pressure on our busy hospitals.
Wayne Scott was the first patient to have surgery for carpal tunnel.
Yeah, the experience was nothing short of fantastic. The staff were just amazing.
It was also a major milestone for Darling Downs Health, with the sod turned to mark construction of the new $1.3 billion Toowoomba Hospital, which is expected to open in 2027.
I am so thrilled that our government is making the investment that Toowoomba and the Darling Downs region needs to keep up with the growth that this wonderful part of Queensland is experiencing.
It was also a busy day for the Health Minister. She was a special guest speaker at the Australian College of Midwives State Conference at Burke and Wills Hotel.
It's fantastic to bring midwives together. Midwives are critical for the health service, critical for improving outcomes for mothers and babies, and to bring them all together in one room to get that energy and to get that enthusiasm is just wonderful.
Ben Meehan, 7 News.
Police are boosting training for officers to cope with call-outs for domestic violence incidents. 17,000 officers will need to complete compulsory DV training, and by the end of this year, specialist units will also be set up.
Sergeant Elise Feltham is the woman behind the state's first specialist DV training package. Based in Townsville, she said police respond to up to 50 domestic violence call-outs every day.
We cannot change this unless people are educated and understand that it is an enormous problem and so many women are losing their lives. So our role ultimately is to support the front line.
Working with local support services, she has designed a domestic violence training package to better equip and support officers, especially those suffering from DV fatigue.
Police back in the day, obviously, you were just tough and you went in and you just did your job. And we didn't recognise the effects it would have on us psychologically.
It's a welcome development for domestic violence survivor Evie Clayton, who was forced to flee to a women's shelter with her mother before moving to Townsville.
When I was a kid, it was a common saying, like, police don't interfere with domestic affairs. We were both so frightened and we didn't know what to do, because do we call? Will it aggravate him more? Will they help us? Will they come? So it was pretty scary as a kid.
A National Survivor Day ambassador, Evie works to help women and children every day.
I don't want any other woman or child to have to go through what I went through, and they are still going through it at alarming rates. So I think some specialist training to have that full understanding to be able to support survivors is so important.
Bethany Ross, 7 News.
There's no reprieve for renters, with new data showing Queensland's vacancy rate is nearly 1%. Per capita, it's also the most expensive state to rent in Australia. But one lawyer turned social media star has come up with a daring solution.
The lights are off and nobody's been home at this investment property for more than 4 years.
They could have someone living in it, rent it out or something. Obviously it must be an investor that owns it and they just letting it sit there.
The property is one of up to 136,000 across Australia left vacant for extended periods.
Homes are for people to live in. Let's let people live in them.
0.8% of houses are unoccupied in Hervey Bay and Toowoomba, 0.7% in the Sunshine Coast, Rockhampton and Cairns, while 1% sit empty in Townsville. Jordan Vandenberg, known online as Purple Pingers, offers a controversial solution to help those desperate for a home.
Publishing the addresses of empty homes that have been vacant for quite some time, and particularly in regional Queensland, there are quite a few people reaching out.
Squatting can be legal under adverse possession, but raises moral concerns and isn't an ideal solution.
Of course, it's not their property and they haven't been allocated the property.
The Real Estate Institute of Queensland says outrage over rental shortages is often aimed at owners and investors, despite a lack of social housing over the last 10 years.
People are dying on the streets and we've got empty homes. Let's sort that out, please.
Tom Duffy, 7 News.
Chess players from around the world have landed in Toowoomba for the international tournament. The game of strategy and speed has seen a surge in interest after a TV series put it back on the board.
The chessboards are set up and the timers are on. Hundreds of players from around the world will compete for the top prize.
New Zealand, Brazil, got someone from Mongolia.
For the past 3 years, interest in the Byron Capital Darling Downs Open Tournament has been building.
So we had 14,000 last year and 30,000 this year.
Armidale-based Kai discovered a love for the game 4 years ago. Chess is a game of logic, but Kai says it's more than that.
Being able to just play a game with no luck, it's calculation, it's deep strategy, it fascinated me.
There's been a surge of interest in the game since the series Queen's Gambit aired, paired with the COVID pandemic and plenty of time to practice.
It was quite a good time for chess and we're still still reeling off that, which is good.
The players sit in silence and concentrate, mapping out the next move, all based on the opposition's last.
Even with the rise of computers, human chess is still so exhilarating. There's so many facets.
Ben travelled from Brisbane to compete. After a game, it's time to analyse the good and bad moves.
And the idea is you just want to find what you did well, so you can basically keep that up, and what you didn't do so well, so you can try to fix that before your next few games.
The competition will run until Monday. Olivia Babb, 7 News.
Yeah, terrific coup for our region. We'll take a break in a moment. Why the smartphone generation is killing off calls.
And the tiny tot helping to stack shelves at the family's IGA.
Stream 7 News anywhere, anytime, live and on demand on 7plus. And with 7news.com.au, you'll know the news now.
Thanks for joining us here on 7. Well, we might be wacky with our ringtones, but there's been a steady decline in downloads, with young people shunning phone calls and texting instead. A Vodafone survey shows while older Aussies max their volume, Gen Z and Gen Y have gone silent.
Hello? Hello?
They're meant to jolt us into answering, but are ringtones going the way of the dinosaurs? Latest research by Vodafone shows 96% of Aussie boomers always keep their phones on and alert.
Older generations have their phone on full volume.
At 69, I'm sort of like, I need to have something that's quite loud.
But Gen Z and younger are doing the opposite, more than a third turning their phones and notifications to silent, despite their daily screen time averaging more than 7 hours.
While younger generations prefer to communicate via text messages, about 2/3 of Gen Z still consider phone calls to be important.
35% of millennials hit mute, but strangely more than a quarter will buy a custom ringtone. 91-year-old Robert didn't even realise ringtones could be changed.
Do you know what your ringtone is?
No.
But whether they answer now, later or text instead, one thing's certain, future generations won't be hanging up.
In a way, I think we're more connected than ever.
Tom Duffy, 7 News.
Yeah, I've got Led Zeppelin on mine. I must be one of the older folk, eh? 18 of Queensland's newest pilots have graduated at the Qantas Flight Academy at Wellcamp Airport. They started their aviation journey 12 months ago, studying a diploma of aviation, and have completed more than 100 hours flying in an aircraft. They can now apply for a direct entry into Qantas or another airline carrier to gain more flight time.
A fourth-generation local store is particularly proud of one employee who's an expert in small talk. 2-year-old Miller has been helping her parents and grandparents stock the aisles ever since she could walk.
Making sure everything has a place, 2-year-old Miller must be one of the youngest employees in history.
When Miller comes into the store, it makes it a little bit more fun because the staff and the customers especially really love having her around.
Her family owns the Toowoomba IGA.
We've had to bring her in just occasionally a few times, and then she was just took to it like a duck with water.
Miller's grandparents took over in 1993 from their own parents.
We're 30 years old now.
And started a family trend. Miller works hard to earn her pocket money.
Something that a lot of kids don't get the opportunity to do. It's a good education for her, and she can't just enjoy the fruits of the labour.
But occasionally, like any 2-year-old, she needs some motivation and doesn't mind chocolate. It's hoped Miller will stick with it and become the 4th generation to take over the store.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. No pressure, obviously, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Rebecca Jensen, 7 News.
Yeah, very cute. Miller's doing a stellar job there, isn't she?
She sure is.
He loves the attention. Huh? So the Queensland Origin women's squad is out, Nathan.
It is indeed, Brough, and the Western Clydesdales have a couple of players in there hoping to be part of this year's historic series against New South Wales. We'll have more on that next. And what can we expect from the Southwest Thundermen in their final Kappa Pro Series match? And welcome back. Well, a couple of Western Clydesdales are one step closer to being a part of history in this year's first Best of Three Women's State of Origin series. Ali Brigginshaw and Shanae Sazolka are part of the squad that assembled today on the Gold Coast for a short camp.
It's just under 2 weeks until the Women's State of Origin gets underway, and today Coach Tiarni Norris unveiled her side, including Clydesdales Ali Brigginshaw and Shanae Sazolka. Norris says skipper Brigginshaw, along with vice-captain Zahara Tamara, are true leaders on and off the field.
Those girls have been around for such a long time and played some really big football games. So I think their experience, especially around the 19s that we've got in there, I think will be second to none.
And while there'll be plenty of Blues players to keep tabs on, Norris singled out another Clydesdale as one to stop.
Through their forward pack, Kezzy Apps, she's always a danger on the field, but you know that's hopefully where we've gone a fitter and faster pack, and we're looking to nullify that.
And back in the BMD Premiership, the Clydesdales are in action tomorrow at Clive Berghofer Stadium, where the tight finals race continues. The second place Clydesdales take on the third place Norths Devils. And the ladder is so close, just 3 points between our Western women and the 8th place Sunshine Coast, with 2 games left. Meanwhile, the men's side are still chasing their first win of the Q Cup season, and it doesn't get easier this weekend against the 5th place Redcliffe.
They're well coached by Ben Teo, and they've got all the facilities of an NRL club, so forth. So they train every day with an NRL club, and they're going to be a strong team.
The women's game begins at 1:25 p.m. with the men from 3. Jack Lewis, 7 News.
The South West Queensland Thundermen are back in action for the final group stage match in soccer's Kappa Pro Series tomorrow night. The team will head to Brisbane's Perry Park and take on the Strikers at 6 p.m. The Thunder sit last in Group B, and the captain believes could be a chance for some of the squad's youngsters to stand up.
Both sides might put some young players on the field, some players that is training well and deserving to play and step into a senior team.
Now, it's a bye round in the FQPL due to the long weekend, but the Thunder ladies will still be in action at the Gold Coast on Sunday for a rescheduled match against Broadbeach, and that game kicks off at 4:15 p.m. Racing returns to Clifford Park tomorrow, and here now with all of his best bets, it's our resident expert, Chris Nelson.
Thanks, Nathan. Racing in the Twilight Zone, as per usual, at Clifford Park tomorrow evening. 5 p.m. the kick-off time. We have 7 races. Let's find some winners. Race 2, number 9, Pureza. Now, she's been freshened up. She's racing very consistently of late, and the form around her last start second is strong. The winner won again at Rockhampton last Sunday. Race 3, number 10, Deferential, has lengths on the opposition form-wise. He's very well placed at the weights. We'll get back, but I still think we'll be able to round up those leaders and go on and win comfortably. And race 7, number 10, Salacia, on the quick backup from last Saturday night. She was strong at the end of 1,000 metres. Now she drops back to 800 metres tomorrow night, but the opposition, they don't look to be overly strong. I think she can overcome that, and I think she can win. That's my lot for this week. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll catch you same time, same place next Friday night.
Good on you, Chris. Hope you and everyone at home has a great weekend too. That's it for sport tonight. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, well, stay with us after the break. Tiarni Reid joins us and she'll have all the weekend weather details for us.
Good evening, Tiarni Reid with 7 local weather. Today's scattered showers were only the start of what's to come over the Labor Day long weekend. Please keep your eye out for warnings tonight and into tomorrow morning as well, as potential thunderstorms start to roll in around the southwest. Temperatures today across the Darling Downs. St George was the warmest at 26 degrees. It was 22 in Dalby, and Toowoomba and Warwick both had a top of 18. On the satellite loop, the whole of the southeast was smothered by cloud today, extending to the Downs. Another big patch was sitting over the far north, and the rest of the coastline had some speckled coverage too. On today's chart, the inland trough over Western Queensland has moved closer, coming into contact with an invisible upper level trough moving in from New South Wales. That's fired up a few storms, and we could see some increased activity around the Queensland border tonight. On tomorrow's chart, the slow-moving trough could potentially trigger some storms in the Downs early in the morning, as well as more showers in the southeast as well. But as it comes closer to the coast, inland areas will start to clear to fairly dry conditions. And now the latest from the Weather Bureau, the Darling Downs and Granite Belt forecast showers with the chance of a possibly severe thunderstorm in the west. Most other places are likely to get wet as well. A top of 19 in Toowoomba, 21 for Warwick, and Dalby ranging from 12 to 24 degrees. For the southeast coast district, partly cloudy with a decent chance of showers. Gatton heading for 23, Ipswich 25 and 24 for Brisbane. Looking ahead for Toowoomba, the wet weather will persist into Sunday, but starting to peter out for Monday, and hopefully should be a bit more dry from then on out. For Warwick, the southwest is in the firing line for some storms until conditions ease at the start of next week. There could be a possible shower on Tuesday though. And for Dalby, similar to Warwick, cloudy with showers and a possible storm through the weekend. There's a chance Labor Day might have a light sprinkle as well. Grace captured this rare double rainbow at Kalula Cove, and isn't it just gorgeous? Thanks for sending that in. Feel free to share your best sunset pics to our email and Facebook page, and it might get a feature. I'm off to relax for the rest of the weekend, but I'll be back on Monday with more weather updates. Hope you can tune in then. Now it's back to the team.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tiarni. Lovely having your company. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you Monday.
And also a reminder, you can watch a replay of our news on the 7plus app or catch up on our page, 7news.com.au. And from all of us here, enjoy your weekend. Good night.
Good night.